Maybe it is. Hey guys, notice I'm... Does this look familiar and yet not familiar? It is an old Ninja 250. I feel like I'm going backwards in time. And I kind of am. So let me explain to you, this is not my bike. This bike actually belongs to work. Notice, remember I work at a motorcycle shop. And this bike is actually for sale at my work. So if you want it, I have no idea what they're asking for because I don't do bike sales. I do parts and accessories. So if you want jackets or helmets or a new luggage rack or something. The story is, it started, I wouldn't idle, it was acting terrible. I have a mosquito caught in my helmet with me. Okay, trying this again. So anyway, yeah, it was great. And there was a little bit of top end noise. The weirdest thing was it kept running really hot. The overheat thing would come on, and it would be like empty, like my radiator would be almost empty. So I didn't think they were related. I thought that the idling problem had to be a clogged pilot jet. Maybe when we rejetted it, you know, we got some dirt in there or whatever. Your hands aren't perfectly clean. It doesn't take much, you know. Maybe something with the float bowl. Maybe I'm like, it's running like it's got water in the tank. Is exactly how it's running. Well, that makes sense. And then finally I was like, oh, you know what? It's got to be a blown gasket. Oh no! So I rent an Enterprise van, and I head back down to where I bought the, you know, to where I had the kit put in, and the guy's like, I mean, he put it in, so he knows it was put in properly. So he's all confused. He's like, I can't believe the gasket failed. I mean, we used a torque wrench. We had everything torqued down to spec. Everything was put together properly. You know, everything was double checked. It ran great. And then all of a sudden one day this happened. And he takes it apart. We examine the gasket, and the gasket's immaculate. So then we're like, oh shit, it's got to be the sleeve. So we took the sleeve out. And lo and behold, it's cracked. It's got a cracked sleeve in the cylinder. And he's like, okay, wait a minute. Why did that happen? Because it happened before my track day. I just didn't realize it. The track day was the nail in the coffin, but that symptom had started the day before. This thing is so slow compared to my bike. Anyway, even though it has more horsepower, it just, the way it's geared, it has nothing down low. Nice. Why don't you pull out in front of somebody? That's a good idea. Anyway, so he calls Advanced Sleeves, the company that makes the sleeves for his kit, and he's like, look guys, I've had these things for, you know, I've done more than 200 of them with no problems, and now all of a sudden everything has problems, and it's not, you know, why are they, this is like the third or fourth person this week that has had an issue with this thing. Why? And, you know, really wanted an answer. Now, had he just been a parts swapper monkey, he would have just put a new one in there and the same thing would have happened again. But he's not a parts swapper monkey, so he called Advanced Sleeve, and they said, we'll get back to you. He said, why am I suddenly having this issue? So they call him back, and they're like, hey, that last order that we sent you, the guy that filled the order, he pulled the wrong material for making the sleeves. It's made out of the wrong grade cast iron. None of them are going to be able to take the compression that the 351 puts out. So basically, I'm up a creek. So now, because of their screw-up, hi friends, I'm meeting. Because of their screw-up, I got like all this coolant and water all over my engine. So they're paying for obviously the top end. He's going to rebuild the top end for me again as a 351. New, you know, a new sleeve. The piston was fine, thank goodness we could save that. But new sleeve. I'm finishing my story. I'm not on the phone, I'm on the camera. Oh, hi. Hi. So new sleeve, new piston, well, same piston, but obviously new rings. So basically, pretty much a new top end that way. And then I really want them to pay to replace the bottom end because I don't trust the the crankshaft bearings anymore, because they not only did they get really high heat, but they also got all that coolant and water, and I know they're compromised. And then my clutch, it's a wet clutch. I know that the fiber plates should probably be replaced too, because they got filled with. You're laughing at me. You're on.
Laughing at ourselves.
Yeah. So I had to replace. Basically, Advanced Sleeve cost me a top end, a bottom end, and a clutch, and I'm asking them to cover that. I'd like them to also pay for the truck rental, because that was not cheap. It was like $200 to get my to get my bike down there and then to drive back, just to find out that their screw up cost me pretty much my entire engine. So cost me the whole cylinder and the whole bottom end. So yeah, I expect them to stand by them. They're a really good company, and it's the least to expect. So in the meantime, I'm borrowing bikes from work, like this old Ninja 250. We'll see what else I end up riding and vlogging on the meantime until my bike is fixed. It shouldn't be too much longer. But I'm going to go with these fine young ladies and drink wine and forget about my problems. That's what I'm going to go do.